Welcome to today's lesson on finding the equation of a line given 2 points on the line. So let's say that you were given 2 points, and these 2 points were 2, 3, and 6, 5. Well, from these now we have to come up with the equation for a line. Now remember that all linear equations can always be written in the form y equals mx plus b. So to fill out the equation here, we need to find two things. One, we need to find our slope, which is represented by m here in this equation. And I need to find my y-intercept, which is represented by b here. So I need to find those two things. Well, from 2 points, we can find the slope. Now remember, we define slope as the change in y over the change in x. So here, let's take a look. Here I have a change in y. I went from 3 to 5. 3 to 5. So my change in y, I went from 3 to 5. That means I had a change in y of 2. My change in x, I went from 2 to 6. 2 to 6, that's a change of 4 when it comes to my change in x. Well, 2/4 reduces to 1/2. Now that I have that 1/2, I know what my slope is. I can place it up here in my equation for m. So now my equation is going to be y equals 1/2 x plus b. Now, when I have that, now I've come down to the point now where I just need one more piece to be able to make this equation happen. I need this y-intercept. Well, how do I find that y-intercept? I don't have the y-intercept as to me given in my points, so I need to find it by plugging in one of these 2 points. And it doesn't matter which one we plug in, whether it's 2, 3, or 6, 5. We know that this is x and this is y. So I can take the 6, plug it in the equation for x, take the 5, plug it in my equation for y. So now I have 5 is equal to 1/2 times 6 plus b. 1/2 times 6 is 3 plus b. Add a -3 to both sides, and I get that 2 is equal to b. So now I know that b is 2. So I have my last piece of my equation, and I can plug that in here for b. So my final equation for the line that goes through these 2 points is y equals 1/2 x plus 2. Now, we could check that by plugging in the other point and making sure that it makes this true. So I could take this point 2, 3, plug it in this equation and make sure that it makes it true. So if I go 3 equals 1/2 times 2 plus 2, half of 2 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 equals 3, so I know it checks. So this would be the equation that would go through those 2 points, 2, 3, and 6, 5. All right, so let's just try one more here, just so that you get familiar with the topic. All right, so I'm going to make up 2 more points. So the 2 points that I'll have for this time when I'm going to solve it are 4, 31, and 7, 58. So again, we have to get our equation for a line, and linear equations can all be written in the form y equals mx plus b. So we need to find m or b. M represents our slope, b represents our y-intercept. Since I don't have a 0x here, I know that I don't have my y-intercept. So the thing that I need to find is my slope. Slope is found by the change in y over the change in x. Here, my change in y, I went from 31 to 58. Now, if you can't remember that, the one way that you can think about it is you could subtract 58 minus 31. So I could take 58 minus 31 over a change in x, 7 minus 4. I went from 4 to 7. I went from 31 to 58. All right, so 58 minus 31 is 27. 7 minus 4 is 3. So 27 divided by 3, or 27 over 3, reduces to 9. So I know my slope is 9. So I can take my slope, plug it in this equation here for m. So now I'm going to have my equation y equals 9x plus b. Now that I have that, now I need to plug in one of my 2 points into the equation and solve for b. I'm going to take this point here, 758 is the point that, so I'm going to take 7, plug it in here for x, take 58, plug it in here for y. So I have 58 is equal to 9 times 7 plus b. 58, 9 times 7 is 63 plus b. Add a negative 63 to both sides to finish this off. 58 plus a negative 63 is negative 5. And so b is negative 5. Now that I have that, I can plug that back into my equation. And now I have my final equation, y equals 9x plus a negative 5. And again, we can check to make sure that that answer is correct by plugging in the other point. This other point, 431, I could take and I could plug into this equation just to see, to make sure that it is correct. All right, in this instance. But I'll leave that up to you. So y equals 9x plus a negative 5, or you could write it as y equals 9x minus 5. I hope that you found this lesson informative. And I hope that you can find an equation of a line given 2 points on that line. See ya.